Hello, today I am in Kichijoji, or as most people know it, the area you have to walk through in order to get to the Ghibli Museum, which is what like 90% of tourists do when they come here. I have been myself, but I don't usually go to the Ghibli Museum when I come here. It's kind of like when you live in Orlando, you don't go to Disney World, or maybe you do. I've never lived in Orlando before, but regardless, I'll be showing you today why I think Kichijoji is one of the most underrated neighborhoods in Tokyo, and I made a little list because lists are fun and I like lists of the top 5 things to do in this area. Don't worry, the Ghibli Museum is included because it is pretty cool, especially if you like Ghibli films. With that being said, let's go. Okay, so number 1, I'm starting with the best, which I know that goes against the philosophy of save the best for last, but honestly, I think that's just there to make people feel better if they finish last. But anyways, it's called Harmonica Alley. It's a series of alleys that are really cool. You'll see. So Harmonica Alley is a little bit of a misnomer. It's actually a series of alleyways that were designed to be like as grungy and gritty as possible, but like in a really Instagrammable and easily digestible and tourist-friendly kind of way. As you can see, it's a lot of small little restaurants and shops, a lot of izakaya style places, but they also have sushi, other styles of food too. Oh, see right there, that's seafood behind me. And they also have secondhand clothes shops. Also a great place to take an Instagram picture if you can withstand the awkwardness of all the Japanese people kind of judging you and staring at you as you become the perfect form of a tourist. Yeah. If you're gonna eat in Kichijoji, I definitely recommend doing it here in Harmonica Alley. As for how I usually choose which of these little restaurants I want to go into, well, usually I walk by a bunch of them feeling too awkward and intimidated to go in because, you know, it's a bunch of Japanese people and they're small local like izakaya types, until about on the 3rd pass by usually I find one that looks a little less intimidating, and I'll kind of awkwardly shuffle my way in through the door. At least that's kind of my strategy. The cool thing about Kichijoji too is that there's surprisingly few tourists. Sorry, I'm kind of ruining that with my tourist vibes right now. For it being such a cool neighborhood, you mostly only see like locals here, so. There's a palm reader. What do you think my palm means? So yeah, that was Harmonica Alley. You'll notice I didn't go in anywhere because honestly that place is too cool for me. I feel like, you know, I don't really, you know, have enough street cred yet, but maybe one day. I'm just sitting here looking at these flowers. They're kind of red, like me. Okay, my number 2 is right behind me. It's a ring shop called Glanta. It's super cute. People go here, you can get really cheap, easy rings, and they make it for you right in front of you. It's common to go with your friends. Me and Sarah went before and we had matching rings, see? Well, you can't see it, but I promise it's on my pinky right here. It's really cute. I'll insert a picture. But I think it's only about like $15 and you can get a cute little ring to customize it, and they let you make it as well. Or you can just have them make it, which I think is what we opted for. We were kind of lazy in that regard. Okay, so number 3 on the list is B-Side Label. It's one of my favorite unique shops in Japan. I always recommend people to come here. It's a sticker shop. They have a bunch of stickers. They have anime figures, Pokemon, original designs. It's cheap. It's really fun to look around. Okay, so I just got my stickers. They had a deal that if you bought 3 stickers, you got 1 for free. So let's all examine my stickers. So I just picked some anime characters that I like. I'm kind of realizing that I like white-haired anime characters, but you know, it's not my fault that they just always make the white-haired character people the cool ones. Like, if you have white hair, you have serious, like, cool side character energy. Each of them have a little quote that they're famous for. So, wari kedo ima isugashinda. Sorry, but I'm busy now. Famous line Gojo says. Yeah, it's really cool. They have a lot of cool options in there. Oh my god, look at the framing of this shot. I'm a cinematic genius. This is number 4 behind me, Inokashira Park. It's on the way to the Ghibli Museum, which, spoilers, is number 5. And it's a really beautiful park in its own right. I've very cleverly chosen to come during winter, so most of the foliage is dead, but it's beautiful any time of year, and it's worth actually just walking through it as well. I'm personally of the opinion that Inokashira Park is one of the most underrated parks in Tokyo. The two famous ones, of course, Shinjuku and Yoyogi Park, are really nice, but I think this is a really good middle ground. Shinjuku Park is very curated and feels more like an arboretum, where Yoyogi Park, basically, grass doesn't even grow because people are walking across it, having picnics, having a good time. This park is a good mixture of beautiful nature, but also you can chill and relax, and there's not, a bunch of people throwing a football around everywhere. I found this little shrine that overlooks the pond and a nice bench to relax at. Makes me want to do one of my favorite things, which is just sit, relax, and pretend to think about life, which is way better than actually thinking about life. There's a lot less existential dread, and you look just as cool as if you were actually doing it. I also love that even though I went in January, a lot of the fall leaves were still on a lot of the trees, so there was a lot of red and fall colors among, the dead brown branches. It was a nice contrast. It was actually way prettier than I was expecting this time of year. I like this stump. This is a nice stump. Fuyu no chocolate. So winter's hot chocolate. So it's a cute little hot chocolate store. Too bad I don't like hot chocolate. I know. Crazy. Too sweet. And it's just like liquid chocolate. If I want chocolate, I'll eat chocolate. I don't need to drink chocolate. I don't really see the point. You versus the girl she tells you not to worry about. On this east side of the park, you tend to have a little more signs of life, like these ducks, haha, good example. But they have a couple vending machines, and they have shops here. They also have an ice cream stand, which I saw. Japanese people still get ice cream. This ice cream shop had such a long line in the winter, it's crazy. You can also rent boats, which is a very famous thing Inokashira Park is known for. Ducks, ducks, more ducks, love ducks, yay ducks. So, number 5, as I've alluded to before, the Ghibli Museum. What most people don't realize, it's like a 20-minute walk from the station, which I'm doing that walk now. Why am I going? I don't have a ticket just to get a shot of the outside. There's plenty on the internet. Look at all these perfectly good pictures of the Ghibli Museum that I could have just pulled from the internet. Instead, I'm walking there. So I'm kind of sitting here on this street corner, very lovely street corner, and I just realized when you go somewhere, you have to come back, which means it's not a 20-minute walk, it's a 40-minute walk, because I would just like take a couple pictures at the outside for you guys. So how mad would you be if I didn't do that and instead just flash some nice pictures of the museum? Here you go, it's lovely. Worth going if you're a Ghibli fan. If not, you can probably skip it. Okay, so yeah, that's my top 5 things in Kichijoji. I'm sorry for not going, but my nose is red. I've turned into Rudolph. It's too late now. I'm sorry. So I guess I'll end the video here on this lovely little corner. I hope you guys like Kichijoji. I really like it. It's one of my favorite districts. I should come more often, honestly. It's one of those places that feels a little different from the rest of Tokyo, and it's a little bit more on the outskirts. So yeah, guys, sorry again for not going. This day was really cold. I was freezing. You can't really tell in the video, but my nose had turned like bright red. And you can't even really film at the Ghibli Museum. They're very strict about it. So I'm sorry for not making the walk. To elaborate a bit more on the museum though, I do think it's really fun. They have a unique movie there that you can only see if you go to the Ghibli Museum that they made just for the museum, so that's really neat. And they have a couple of really cool exhibits. It's not huge, and honestly, I don't think it's worth going if you're not already familiar with the Ghibli films. Everything is in Japanese, there's not a lot of English, but for the fans, definitely worth going. Anyhow, that was my list. Thanks for watching. I really like Kichijoji. I hope you get the chance to go. I think it's super underrated, and it's a really fun neighborhood with a lot of really cool vibes and people and shops and places and food and things and parks and ducks. Bye! Sorry for the rushed outro.